this.
I'm waiting until I show up on the Twitch. Until I can see me on the Twitch.
That's how we know.
It just says the soon on air soon. Okay, there we go. I see me now. Okay. me. No kidding. What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Scarfinger, and this is Scarcasm.
Woohoo!
As always, Chase is in the building, and Sam is in the building, representing that Wu Tang. It's on your brain.
I've had this
Literally.
beanie since 1998.
Word. I've been out of high school since 1998.
Well, the year after.
So yeah, Chase was born in 1998. So.
That is not true.
So yeah, man.
I was in 8th grade in 1998. Well, actually, no, yeah, 8th grade.
I'm sorry. So, all right. So we're recording this a day earlier than normal. Chase has other responsibilities. And Sam is in the building, so we can go through a few things. One, I've actually played some video games.
Me too.
This is like flipped because I play very little video games, but
you was doing, like, you went on a vacation, you went on a trip, all kinds of shit happened after. But I will say, before we get into it, I was recently on an episode of Crucial Core.
Yes, he was.
And that was fun, even though I forgot what day it was supposed to be, and I hadn't watched the movie, so I had to watch like a recap real fast.
You want to watch the clip notes, huh? The clip notes.
Yeah, I cliff notes the fuck out of that shit. But it was still good. With the homie Rojas was in the building, and we had a good time talking about Jason X.
Yeah, it was.
You seen that before though?
Yes, I have. I actually own it. I didn't go look for it because I thought it was going to be the next day.
Oh, okay.
So I was gonna try to watch it because I'm also watching a lot of stuff for we just finished up Oz on Return to Oswald, and we're gonna do Orphan Black, but we're gonna take a detour and we're doing Playmakers first. So. Because Playmakers was a limited run, they did a season, and the NFL was like, "Cut that shit, dog."
That's that one that ESPN got a little too close to.
Yeah.
The NFL was like, nah.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Like Playmakers, right? The very, very first episode, the star running back is late for a game, and he's fiending. So his homeboy wakes him up. They're on their way. They get pulled over on the way, and then they get let go because he's the star running back. Then he drops the lineman dude off, goes to his crack house, smokes some crack in the bathroom.
Oh, I remember that one. I remember that. I saw that.
Then goes to the game late. That's the first episode.
Because I remember I turned it on and I was like, okay, let's see what this show's about, this football show. And I seen a dude sitting in a house, looking out the window, smoking some crack.
He was sitting in the bathroom, looking out the window, smoking some crack. So that's the first episode. And so, like...
That's why NFL was like, yeah,
cut that dog. It got a little too close to home because there's a lot of issues that come up in the show about... one of them actually being gay on the low. It's about, it starts off, the first episode is mostly about an aging running back. The guy who was the star until they just drafted Omar Gooding's character. Because, the crack smoker was played by Omar Gooding, which is weird, especially for people my age who've seen him on Wild and Crazy Kids.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Isn't that the dude from Wild and Crazy Kids?
Yes, very much so. And
also the kid from Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Yes. And then like there's also like a situation where one of the lineman dude, like later on in the season or like mid season, he gets diabetes, and they tell him that he needs to lose weight, but he's also a lineman, so he can't. So like he takes the weight off, but then he starts getting really tossed around on the
Right.
field. So he has to decide on whether he is going to focus on his diabetes for his life, or is he going to say fuck that for his NFL career. Like it's some real shit that happens in this show. And the NFL was like, nah, cut that shit, dog. Cut all of it right now. You want the rights to NFL games? We got you, dog. Just cut this shit. Like they did that shit real fast. But yeah, it was a really good show. Most of us who've seen it wish they could have continued because it would have been really interesting to see where else they would have gone with this. But yeah, and then we're doing Orphan Black after, and then just like man, just I've really been contemplating doing like a solo podcast. But see, here's the problem. I wanted to do one for like my creative side, like my crafts and stuff like that. It just talking about like the like doing the crafts and also like the business side of like how how it's going with me is trying to set up all of this stuff and to make it all work.
Mm-hmm.
And but also I want to just talk about random stuff, and I don't know if those two things are supposed to exist in the same place.
Well, you don't have a lack of hobbies. I mean, you have a lot to do. You're good at keeping yourself busy. So I wouldn't say that it's something you have to do. But like if you want to do it and you can fit it in and it doesn't feel overwhelming, I would say go for it. But
Yeah, and I have been bogged down lately making cookies. I made 3 batches of cookies today. Like this cookie shit is getting on my nerves. I thought I was done with cookies personally. But I made some cookies and now everybody wants them. So I'm like, I better get my practice back up because first of all, I got to figure out how this oven works. If this oven is gonna be good enough.
Scar, you need to stop being good at shit.
Yes, I really do. Like that's not even a joke. Like I really need to stop being good at shit because because everybody wants me to do stuff. Like one of the batches that I made today, I hurt my hand making this shit. Because I'm making these cookies and like I think I talked about it last show, but it's based off of Levain, which is a highfalutin place in New York City. And so I made the cookies just like being like, haha, I'm making cookies. But then everybody was like, yo. So I started making those, and my cousin who I used to live with when I lost my job and I was there, I was doing the show from her house. Remember that for a little bit? Um, she wanted the same kind of cookies, but she wanted oatmeal cookies. And I'm like, okay, I guess. I looked up a recipe. I got everything mixed up and ready to go. And then it was time to add in like the the flour mixture
Mm-hmm.
with the oatmeal and all of that kind of stuff. And my mixer was like, no, sir. I mean, my mixer was like, no, sir. So I had to stir that bitch by hand.
Wow.
And holy fuck, did that shit. It was so thick, that shit made my hand cramp. I was like, yo, I gotta go sit the fuck down and not do anything because my hand was cramping really bad. And I'm just like, I hope she know how much I love her because this shit hurt.
Yeah, I just think it'd be funny if you like tried to self sabotage your cookies. Be like someone being like, hey, make me some cookies, and you're like, how about you try some mustard pancake cookies? And then they end up loving it, and then you're like on like talk shows and stuff, and they're having think pieces. What does mustard pancake cookies mean? And it's like this big national thing. You're like, I was just trying to not be good at something.
No, but it's gonna be a thing where I'd be like, yo, mustard pancake cookies, and it was like, is that sexual? It sounds sexual. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's it would be a situation like that. Is that sexual? It sounds sexual. I need you to explain what that is. All right, so before we actually go into like some real shit, Sam, how's it been, dog?
Well, just here. I have a new PC and I'm able to play games on my computer now without it exploding or threatening to explode. I was having a problem with EA Play. The Game Pass thing. So yeah, I would play The Sims, and then I went back in to log into it, and it said, "No, you're already playing this game already. You're playing it right now." I'm like,
that app is a little problematic. I went back to just saying fuck it and not.
It's a beta. That's why.
Right. I was just like, if I'm doing EA Play, I'm just going to do it on my Xbox and just use Origin.
Yeah. So what I did, I uninstalled it and I just started using Origin because I remember I have The Sims. I actually bought The Sims a long time ago. Mm-hmm. I just forgot that I had it on Origin and not like EA Play.
Right.
So yeah, I've been playing The Sims lately. Just forgot how addictive that game can be.
Yeah, talk to my wife about that.
I bought The Sims when my daughter was like super into it. And then I just didn't really play it. I bought The Sims 4, but I got a base copy of The Sims 4. And like it just never really actually went anywhere.
Yeah, I'm just trying to my little dude is a hoe. He's trying to go out there and do little hoe things. That's pretty much all I'm really doing. Yeah, he hooked up with his one girl 3 times in one night.
That's what I'm talking about, dog.
I'm like my man right there.
Yeah, she
get that blurry in. You know what I'm saying?
She likes watching these dudes play The Sims, and where this one dude that like puts them in like terrible situations. You know what I mean? I can't remember. I think it's Gray plays it or something. I think it's the name of it. But yeah, he'll like give them opposite the people, like their personalities and whatnot clashing and stuff, and put them all in a building that they can't get out of. Like one of them's are addicted to pills, but there's no pills. It's like crazy shit like that, and to see which one survives.
I used to be super addicted to the original Sims, and you know when I stopped playing. Okay, because I was making people in my actual neighborhood in The Sims. Mm-hmm. The day I stopped playing was the day when I saw my friend walk down the street wearing the same shirt that he was wearing in The Sims.
Wow. Really?
I was like, okay, that's enough of that. I'm just gonna turn this off now. Never touched it again. Never touched it again.
You're like, this is like some metaverse shit.
Yeah, this is like too much of real life. I'm just gonna stop.
Yeah. What you don't do is like because you can name people in what's that alien game that's so fucking hard? I want to say SOCOM, but that's not right. XCOM.
Oh,
there we go.
XCOM.
Yeah, you can name your characters or whatnot. So people like start out like, I'm naming my friends, and then all their friends die, and like, now I'm just sad.
Well, that's like Oregon Trail when you list like all your buddies and then half of them die of dysentery.
I did that. What Call of Duty was it? There's a Call of Duty. It might have been Ghosts, where there's a mode where you can play it like it's kind of like you can play it like almost like a mobile game where you play a match with bots but against a facsimile of your friends and their bots.
Oh, so it's kind of like Drivatars.
Yeah, it's kind of like Drivatars. And so like you playing with your friends, you're playing with yourself and your bots against their Drivatar, for lack of a better word, their Drivatar and the bots that they set up, because you can tell the bots like what to have, like what kind of weapons to have and all of this other stuff. So you just play a match like that. And then originally I was going to put in my friends.
The Katatar.
And then I said, No, I'm going to, because I don't really want to see my friends getting fucked up. Because I wasn't gonna put their screen names on. I was gonna put their real names because these are my friends.
Like, no.
So I eventually kind of defaulted to naming them characters from Ender's Game, which I was listening to the audiobooks at the time.
You go and make an Orson Scott Card and go find him and shoot him down.
Nah, I can't make an Orson Scott Card. I don't want to.
That's what I'm saying. You go hunt him down and you go bang bang.
I don't want them alphabet boys to come looking for me.
Oh. Okay.
I don't even want to try. Don't let them alphabet boys come looking for me.
Yeah, didn't you make a bunch of us in NCAA?
I did. Then I started that, and then I never finished it because like a lot was happening at home.
Yeah, I remember you made a team of nothing but Harry Potter characters.
I've done all kinds of stuff, but then I downloaded some teams that were already made. Because they had the they had the what's it called, Team Builder.
Now, was this was the server still up for that, or was this some kind of dark web shit you were doing?
I believe that the servers, everything that was there when they shut it down, is still there. You can still, everything that was already made at that time, you can still download, as I understand it. But but all of my stuff had been downloaded a long time ago. I mean, in 1 year, I had like a ton of different teams. I had my own teams because I created it lets you create like 12 or something like that. So I had the 12 that I created plus a couple more that I had in a different thing. Then you had to pay an extra like $10 to be able to download more than those 12.
More than 12, yeah.
Yeah, and then I was just downloading all kinds of shit. I downloaded the Dylan Panthers. I downloaded
the East Dylan Panthers, the East Dylan team.
Yes, I did. And then I used to run them through tournaments. I downloaded an app to make tournaments on my iPod Touch at the time. This tells you how long it's been. I downloaded an app and I ran the teams through the tournament and I didn't play. I just watched. Let me tell you, the guards from The Longest Yard movie, the Adam Sandler Longest Yard, they were the fucking cheat code. No one could beat them. Like, no one could beat them.
They were the Bo Jackson.
Yeah, they were definitely the Bo Jackson with Lawrence Taylor on the same team. You know what I mean? Like it was like that. But so they just kept running shit. And then I actually ran through a dynasty with the Dylan Panthers. And the first thing I did was start Matt Saracen. Fuck that shit, dog. I did that shit first. And all of the quarterbacks was on the team. The Street was on the team.
Street. I was listening. Did you sideline Jason Street?
No. Yeah, I put him on the back burner because he was a senior, right? So Jason Street, I just put his ass on the road because, of course, because of what happened to him, his injury was real low. Like he could get injured real fast. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna put his ass. I'm just gonna put his ass down. And
poor Jason Street.
No. Ain't no poor Jason Street. Poor Voodoo Tatum. I never use Voodoo Tatum. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy forever.
Well, I thought you were pro Voodoo Tatum.
I'm not pro Voodoo Tatum because he was a ringer. He was a ringer. I don't fuck with.
Yeah, he was one of those Louisiana boys.
Yeah. Matt Saracen for life, dog. Life.
What about what was his name? Landry? What that dude?
He was a kicker though. Like what I mean? Like
it's been so long since I've seen it, I forgot.
No. In the later seasons, they brought in that young kid, the freshman dude, with the father who was the asshole. And then that's around the time when Coach left and went to the other team. They brought in the little young dude.
Yeah, I forgot everything except like Journey Smollett. That's like all I remember.
Let me tell you, I went down a rabbit hole a while ago. About 3 weeks ago, I went down a rabbit hole and I started watching clips again, and I was like, "Yo, dog, it's a really good fucking show."
I looked on YouTube because I wanted to hear that theme again, and I was like, "I love that theme." with the intro.
I'm guessing Chase ain't saying nothing. I guess you didn't watch Friday Night Lights?
Well, I've seen the movie. I haven't seen the show.
No, watch the show, dog.
Up to season 3.
Up to season 3.
And remember when we were telling Tim Pan was telling us how he loves the show and everything. You were like, stop at season 3. He's like, oh, you're crazy. And once he got past season 3, he never said nothing no more.
Right, exactly. Because if you finish the show, it's at your own risk. You know what I'm saying? If you finish the show, it's at your own risk. And I understand why you want to be a completionist in these days where you can just binge everything. I don't even know if it's streaming at this point.
I thought it was on Hulu, but I think that might have been a while back. I don't remember. It's on NBC, so it could be on the cock.
Okay, let me see. I'm gonna look and see if it is on Hulu. It is on Hulu.
It is on Hulu. Okay.
You're correct. And it says I don't know how true this is, but IMDb says it's on Netflix also.
I don't think so.
I don't know about that one.
But I'm just saying it's probably going to be on Peacock at some point exclusively because it's an NBC show.
Yes. You know what? Friday Night Lights is a great TV show. I think it's one of the greatest TV show that no one ever talks about. Like The Shield. Like no one ever talks about The Shield. Hold on, wait. I actually clicked on a link for Netflix and this shit totally came up. It actually started playing an episode.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's on Netflix? Cool. Yeah, I originally watched the movie because I mean I like the movie and all, but my original thing of interest is that one of my favorite bands did the soundtrack, and then I heard the show was even better than the movie. But I don't think Explosions did the soundtrack of the show, but I think whoever did the soundtrack of the show did it in their style, so it still felt like it was Explosions in the Sky. But
yeah, it was. And okay. Let me tell you something about Friday Night Lights.
Okay.
And you might dig this because you like scary movies and like weird movies or whatever. The guy who is in charge of making the movies, right?
Uh-huh.
He is the kid from Shocker.
Oh yeah? Well, I know that the dude from the movie is the dude from like that show to where the sheriff is the devil.
Sheriff is the devil?
Yeah.
It's called Banshee? No?
American Gothic.
Oh.
Yeah.
American Gothic. He played in it?
Yeah. But he was a kid in that.
American Gothic. I'm looking at the wrong thing because he directed some shit too and he wrote some stuff. I'm looking at his acting credits,
but
I don't see American Gothic so far. When did American Gothic come out?
It had to have been in like the late 80s or 90s or something.
I don't think we're talking about the same dude because this dude never acted in that. I don't see it.
Are you sure? American Gothic.
We're going down the Google rabbit hole.
Yeah, we're going down the rabbit hole.
American drama series.
Peter Berg is the guy I'm talking about.
Oh, the kid from wait, he wasn't in Scary. He wasn't in Scream. He was in what the frick was he in? He was in a movie I saw with Sylvester Stallone. Peter Berg.
Was Stallone? I don't know.
It was called Copland. He was in that movie. Peter Berg was.
Was in Copland?
Lucas
Copland.
Black. Yeah, he's in it.
But movie.
That's who I was talking about.
Lucas Black.
Show where.
Okay, Lucas Black.
The sheriff.
The one thing about Lucas Black. Okay, so one day I decide I am going to watch Tokyo Drift.
Okay.
American Gothic.
I'm watching Tokyo Drift, right? And I'm like, I know that dude. Why the fuck do I know that dude? So I look it up. and he's the kid from Sling Blade. I was like, that's
Yeah.
him. Get away from us! Like he's that kid. And it's like, yo, he grew up and actually got into a Fast and Furious movie. Fuck yeah, dude.
Did you just say American Gothic Tokyo Drift?
I did not. He said American Gothic.
No, because I looked up a movie TV show where Sheriff was the devil. And it said American Gothic.
But
it's from Sling Blade.
Friday Night Lights Tokyo Drift.
Oh, Lucas Black.
Yeah, Lucas Black was in the movie Friday Night Lights, right?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, so no. I'm talking about the guy who created the whole thing. Like he created he didn't write the story. It was written by someone else.
Yeah.
But he created the TV show and he was behind the movie also.
He was the kid from Shocker.
He was the kid from Shocker. Yes.
Nice.
Really, really terrible fucking movie that we've all seen because it came on HBO, and at one point HBO was free. So if you live in Newport News, HBO was free. So
Shocker has such an iconic cover. It's just it's so dumb.
Oh, what with the guy getting electrocuted?
Yeah.
That's Shocker. Oh yeah, I've seen that.
But like if you've never seen Friday Night Lights, if you want something to watch, do that shit. Do that shit immediately. That shit's fucking fantastic. I mean, I'm telling you, it's fantastic. I would want. You know what? I should add that to the list of shows that we eventually cover. But we're gonna stop at season 3. Because what is it? Was it season 4? Season 4 is the season that season 4 is the one that could have been solved with one phone call, right?
Yeah, the whole thing about the mom and the
that whole thing could have been the big bad of that season could have been solved if the reporters would have made one phone call. That's it. You only need is one phone call, and I'm yelling at the screen. Like, my ex-wife can attest to this. We're watching the show, and I'm like, call that bitch mama. All that bitch mama. And like I'm yelling at the screen the whole time, kind of like what I did like the whole last season of Lost. I'm yelling at the screen like, what the fuck is this?
That's kind of what I started yelling at season 9 of Smallville. What the fuck am I looking at?
That's what the writers of Lost were yelling when they were writing it. What the fuck is this?
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's Smallville had a.
I'm not finished with it, and it's going to be a long time before I do. I'm at the tail end of season 9.
I
want to shoot myself.
I did not hate it when it started coming back around 6. It started going downhill.
Well, I heard that they started around season 6. I heard they started hiring comic book writers, but they couldn't save it.
Yeah, I think 6. I think they saved it enough for me. I'm not saying that they saved it enough for everybody, but they saved it enough for me.
Yeah, like it did have an uptick for a while, and then once they got, I hated Lana Lang, but once they got rid of her, it just kind of felt like it was going nowhere.
Because Lois was just kind of eh.
Lois, the actress, is a gorgeous woman, but she's not a very good actress.
And do you know she actually played that lady who played Lois in Smallville? I think she played.
She's a Supergirl. I know that.
She played in Supergirl, but she's like Supergirl's mama or some shit like that.
Yeah, I know she played a character. She played a villain, I think, or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird that like Chloe's mom was Linda Carter. That was cool.
Yeah. And then of course his mom played Lana in the.
Oh movie. Yeah, in the movie Superman 3. And then what's his name? What's her name? The original Lois played basically played Christopher Reeve's side piece on the show.
And then in Supergirl, what's her name? Linda Carter?
Yeah.
The president.
Oh yeah.
In Supergirl, the show that no one should watch.
No, the show that no one should watch is Lois and Clark. That's a bad show.
The old Lois and Clark?
Yeah, the 93 one. It looked like whoever wrote it only knew Golden Age Superman and nothing else, because that's basically what that show is.
Bruh, let me tell you something about the new one.
Oh, I've seen the new one.
New one
I
is
like it.
great. The
I
new
like
one
it.
is
I just like I'm pacing myself because I might see episode 5 or 6, but I'm pacing myself because it's really good.
it's really really good. Like it's like because like the DC TV show, the CW shows are kind of hit and miss,
Right.
especially for certain seasons. Like the last couple of seasons of The Flash has just been like, bruh, can we get this over with? But this new season, the first couple of episodes is like, yo, we back, dog.
No, this takes place in the Supergirl universe, right? Because it's the Superman from Supergirl, right? I think so.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Well, actually, it's all one universe now.
Oh, really? Oh, because of Crisis.
Technically, it's all one, but they still don't really cross over very much. But the crazy part about it, right? Black Lightning is over. Black Lightning, the new season of The Flash starts with the crossover. Starts with the crossover. It's not mid-season, and Black Lightning is in the crossover.
Yeah, because I heard originally that they originally weren't going to have that part of the universe. Like it was going to be its own separate thing. But then he popped up in Crisis, didn't he?
Yes,
Okay.
and that's when everything kind of went together. And like during Black Lightning, like they only had one time where he actually called on one of them, and like they didn't even show him. Like they were looking for some sort of like device or something like that to use for something, and he was like, "I know a guy," and then like something just kind of flew in, dropped it off, and left. So, so they never actually really did any of that in, except for that one instance of the Flash.
Chase is looking at his phone. He's just not in this conversation at all.
Right. So like, yeah, that's crazy. Chase, what you been up to, dog? I know you've been taking trips and shit.
Yeah, man, I've been all over the place.
I've been everywhere, man.
Yep, and the places I have been is probably places that Johnny Cash should go. Well, I went to Kentucky.
That's a Johnny Cash song. I only know that from the commercial.
Oh yeah.
I don't know Johnny Cash like that. I did watch the movie, and
I was gonna say Chase went to the drug house.
Yeah, I went to San Quentin and
what you call it? Didn't Suicide Squad start with the Johnny Cash song? The Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I haven't watched
the new one.
You never seen the new one?
Mm-mm.
I think it started out with Folsom Prison. I think that's what it started with.
I did. That was actually a pretty decent movie. Like I didn't hate the old one. This one was pretty fucking good, man.
Yeah, I like it, but so many movies and so many superhero stuff is coming out now that it all runs together, and I forget about everything quickly. I already forgot about the Suicide Squad already.
But like the thing about the Suicide Squad is like you needed a bunch of Marvel niggas to make Suicide Squad pop.
You needed the dude from Guardians of the Galaxy to make that movie.
No, the actors too.
Oh yeah, because he has his brother and everything. In every movie he makes, he brings his brother along.
No, his brother played two characters.
Yeah, he played the rat, the mole, or whatever.
He played the weasel, and he played Calendar Man. I guess they call him Calendar Man.
Yeah, that's Calendar Man. Yeah.
Yeah, and then also of course Idris Elba.
Right.
Was in the Thor movies. Stallone was King Shark. He was also in Guardians 2.
He was also Judge Dredd.
They even brought the guy who directed Thor Ragnarok and plays Korg in the Marvel movies, played Ratcatcher's dad.
Oh yeah, he did, right. I forgot.
The guy who fucking the lady who is Mantis, she just played some random chick in the club. She didn't have the Mantis stuff on. She was just
she didn't have the ears.
When they went in the club, she was the main dancer on stage with the red dress. She was in there. Like it took a whole bunch of Marvel niggas to make this shit pop. Like, and there's way more. I mean, what you call it? Michael Rooker. Even though Michael Rooker, Guardians. Like there's a bunch of Marvel niggas to actually make DC pop.
You know what? Michael Rooker is one of those guys who has one role that I'll never. Every time I see him, I always think of him in this one role. He was the sheriff in Rosewood, and I'll never forget him for that. I was just like every time I see him, I'm like, whoa,
I try to not remember Rosewood at all.
That's not something I ever want to remember. I never want to think of that movie again.
I'm sorry, Chase. Go ahead, do you think?
but yeah, it's been kind of crazy because it's been 2 weekends in a row that I've traveled. So I went to Kentucky to visit my brother, which is really cool, and that's the first time.
Visited the Colonel?
Yeah. Yeah, which is crazy. Like when I first got there, like the airport was just like, oh, here's right after I got out of where I got off the plane, and then I turned, and then there was a store just like selling a bunch of bourbon. I was like, okay, I'm in Kentucky.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, like, did you pick up any bourbon? Or did you drink any?
Yes, but
that's like going to the Caribbean and not getting no rum. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, we and I took a picture of another sign when I was going home. Any bourbon that you buy at the airport is already cleared by TSA. Like you can take it on the plane.
It's clear for takeoff.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, that was cool.
You took a plane?
Yeah, I flew because that's definitely a drivable area. I mean, to me, anything under 12 hours is drivable. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
you got to deal with mountains and shit.
Right. Yeah. But to me, over 5 it's pushing it, man. You know. So he was like, man, tickets are pretty cheap right now. Hell, I'll pay half of it if you do it. So yeah, that was the fastest, because I was going to do Jason X, right? We were going to do Jason X after I got back, and I was like, well, I'm just going to watch it on the flight. I'd had it downloaded and everything on my phone so I can watch in airplane mode. I watched 11 minutes of that movie on the first flight, which was to Charlotte. The second flight, I watched another 30 minutes of that movie. I watched 40 minutes of that movie during that flight. So yeah, that was a really short flight. All in all, from getting in the car at my house to arriving in Kentucky, it was 8 hours. Which with the waiting, and that's still shorter than driving the 10-hour drive. So it still come out better, and I didn't have to be, driving and taking my car. So yeah, we had some drinks and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, I did play some stuff there, but I wouldn't call that like playing, like me playing video games. I mean, there was some Smash, which I shit at. I do not understand Smash Brothers at all. Like I'm like, what are we doing?
I've never played a Smash Brothers game at all.
I did the original one a long time ago, and that was really.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, it seems like they're doing stuff that I know that, like, I understand, like, fighting games, like punch, kick, and it seems like there's more to that game than just punching and kicking. But
hey, Chase, not to interrupt you, but Q just sent me a tweet from he sent me a tweet that says the Los Angeles Dodgers have executed Trevor Bauer. They just did they shoot him? I mean, what did they
executed him? Like,
that's what it says.
What are we talking about here, sir?
I mean, did they put him against the firing squad? I mean, how did they do that?
Yeah. But yeah, that was cool. So I got back from that, and then I'm going to put a video together because, well, for one, I never have used a GoPro before. And he was like, hey, use this to record some stuff. And some of it's on my phone, some of it's on the GoPro. But he's going to send me the files. But there was some of it when we were kind of drinking heavy. I guess if you hold the button too long, it will go in like it's taking pictures like every second versus...
Instead of taking video.
So during some of that, I'm going to have to put in a bunch of pictures, and it's going to look like a big dream sequence because it's just... bunch of stills that are just gonna fly past the screen. But yeah, that's gonna be some work. But yeah, I went back to work and did some work and whatnot, and then we went to Hendersonville for Thanksgiving, and that's Amber's people, the in-laws, and that was cool. And so yeah, I did the Thanksgiving thing there, and I played a little bit of Persona 5 there, and that's basically it. Because I had the PlayStation, but Aiden wanted the TV, for his Xbox, but he didn't play anything. So I looked on my Steam thing. It was like, you have played 2.5 hours in the past 2 weeks. I was like, wow. And all of that was Halo. So, but I did get Guardians of the Galaxy on Black Friday sale, and I played like 20 minutes of it before the podcast. And so far, it's really smooth and really cool. The dialogue and stuff. It's really crazy to see a AAA game made by a AAA developer have overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. I'm pretty happy about that.
I'm just surprised that game turned out to be good. I mean, because of course, like, with all of the characters looking and sounding weird, that was kind of like, I'm not sure about this, but apparently it turned out actually pretty good.
Yeah, I figured that it would either be okay to good, but I didn't think it was going to be like that good. Like, overwhelmingly positive on Steam normally is reserved for like little indie darlings. You know what I mean? Like, like people are going to be like too in their own feelings to like give something made by Activision or Square Enix overwhelmingly positive. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, Activision is a bad example, but from what's been going on with them, which is like who we, but yeah. So that's pretty much been me, man. I mean the Jason X, and I still haven't watched the remake, which I've got a podcast for that tomorrow, and but
you better get your 45 minutes in, dog.
Yeah, yeah. That I did watch that Shang-Chi, but like I fell asleep because that was right after my flight, and Dylan took which my brother, he's been on the podcast before. He took a picture of me, and I apparently just like was like sleeping, and like my head was like this, and he kept like saying, "Hey man, you want to go lay in the bed?" And he was like, "No, I'm good. No, I'm good." and the next day I was like hurting because I was basically like sleeping.
Up in your neck.
I was sleeping like this.
Did you hurt your neck or something?
Yeah. but yeah, that seems like a good movie. But I just need to actually watch it, other than fall asleep. But I mean, it was right after my flight, so I was just kind of, and plus it's kind of hard to get into party mode after being in dad mode for so long. So yeah, I was still like, oh, I'm getting kind of tired, and it's 9:30,
Dang.
But
I think the opposite happens for me. Like, I'm in like, do whatever you want mode because I live by myself. Whenever I'm in dad mode, when my daughter is here, I get tired really early. Like, it's like,
Is that because you have to focus more on another person, give someone else a lot of attention?
I think so, but these days it's not even a lot of attention. It's just being full-time dad. Just takes me somewhere. Like it's like a different life. Almost like I can't walk around in my drawers. Like I gotta make sure that what I mean. Like this shit just kind of fucked up. But like most of the time, I don't close the door when I go to the bathroom. Like why? I live here by myself. Just the extra added things that I have to do because there's someone else here now just kind of sucks. And no, it doesn't suck. It doesn't suck having my daughter here, but the changes that you have to make really kind of suck because, like, there's times where I'm like, I'm going to, get ready to go to the bathroom, about to go take a shit, and it's like, oh shit, I gotta close the door. After I start pulling my pants down, so I'm like, oh, she don't walk fast. Shit like that happens a lot in the first like couple of days. And then once I get settled into whatever the new routine is or the temporary routine, it's just like, okay, I'm good now. But for some reason, I like being a dad just really, really takes it out of me. I think some of it is the attention that I have to pay her.
And that might be it for me too. Like I'm like kind of on all the time. You know what I mean? I mean, from work, my work is also very attention oriented, and then at home it's the same way. It goes where I'm like, hey man, like talking to my son, like you can totally just like if he's getting overwhelmed with his brother and whatnot, you can totally just go in your room and play a video game. You don't have to be out here. I can't do that. If I had the ability to him just to go in the bedroom and just escape everything, I think I'd take that up. Like, like like didn't have any responsibility, but yeah. So, but then when you're like the whole thing about the driving versus the flying, yeah, it was a nerve wracking. I was a nervous wreck before the flight. It's not that I'm scared of flying. It's just that I don't do it often. That I was just like, okay, I'm not scared of flying. Why am I an anxious wreck and my hands are shaking? But once I got up there, it was fine. You know what I mean? But it's just before it was just like crazy. But when you're driving, you're on. Like you have to be paying attention. You know what I mean?
Right.
Versus just kind of being like, I'm here.
Right. What you?
But man, Charlotte, the airport is that's a crazy airport.
I've heard. Is one of the largest ones, right?
Yeah, I think it's one of the main hubs to where, like, you know, it's just a lot of flights go to that one. To go to different flights.
I'm with you. All right, so what we want to do first?
We can ask Sam what he's been doing.
What have I been doing?
You want to talk games, or you want to talk about what you've been watching first? Because you always watch weird shit.
Yeah, who, me or Chase?
You watch weird shit that no one has ever heard of. We talk about some random TV show that no one has ever heard of.
Well, I heard of it. I mean, it wouldn't be on the air if I was the only one watching it. Come on.
That's probably why they don't stick around for very long. But
the new season of Star Trek Discovery started, and I started watching that. It's pretty good so far.
Okay.
I've never heard of Star Trek Discovery.
You never know? It's Star Trek on the Discovery Channel.
Okay.
They look at all the, like weird animals and shit that are on other. No, get out of here, Shane. Started watching Hawkeye. I had to count the amount of bros that were in the movie. So far in 2 episodes, I've counted 6.
Hawkeye turned out to be a little bit. They dropped the first 2 episodes. It's better than I thought it was going to be.
You're right. Yeah, bro. Come on, bro. I have a friend who when he saw the trailer and he saw how many bros were in the trailer, he's like, I'm not watching this.
You know what? I think the best bit from that show so far has been Rogers the Musical.
That was funny.
That was just the best. And then him being there, and then Ant-Man shows up. It's like he wasn't even there.
He's like, I was here. He wasn't.
Right. It did have a Hawkeye. The character playing Hawkeye is just kind of on the side, of everything. He's just kind of away from everybody. They're all doing their thing, and he's just kind of like, oh yeah, Hawkeye's here. That's funny. And then
then the fact, did he have to go do a LARP?
Oh, that was hilarious. But here's the thing. Here's the thing about the Rogers the Musical. He turned his hearing aid off. Yeah. And that was the funniest shit. It's like, can you hear me? Did you turn your hearing aid off? He was like, motherfucker, I was here. I know all of this stuff. You know what I mean? They turned it into a musical, but I was there.
I think that they had to explain that he because he's a regular dude, that he has to, because of all the explosions and shit, he has to have a hearing aid now.
Right. It was like, why do you wear a hearing aid? They just show clips of shit.
They just show a montage of explosions, yeah.
Yeah, explosions, him going through windows and shit. It's like, I'm a regular guy. Just things. The way he says it is just like, just things happened. But
I did like that he named his son Nate after Black Widow.
Yes. I mean, of course, it's at that part, and then him feeling the way that he felt, where he just had to get the fuck out of there. That shit meant something, because the idea that he's just like, yo, dog, this is too much. I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Right.
That shit means something, because they could have just played it as if everything was fine. It was like, no, this is not fine. This, you made a beautiful musical about this shit, but this was my life.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is my life. These are the things that I went through, and I can't handle this shit right now. That
I
shit
did
was.
like when he was on the street and like this lady was like with her son. He's like, "Oh, look, a superhero," and he thinks they're gonna come up to him. No, they're gonna come up to like the actors that are behind them.
Right, and somebody said, "Is a female Hawkeye?" It's like, no, he's Katniss. She's Katniss. Like that's funny because I'm like, could they even like, like when you have some weird crossover, like when Free Guy did it, because I watched Free Guy. Did I
Oh
talk
yeah,
about that before?
I actually
Did I talk
didn't
about-
mind that movie. I went in with zero expectations.
it was actually pretty good. Like I didn't hate it at all. But like at the end, where all of the Marvel and Disney stuff when all the Disney stuff comes in, it's just like, could they do this? It's like Disney bought out Fox, so I guess they can. But like,
I don't know why, but I was really annoyed when he's like, "Is that a lightsaber?" I'm like, "No shit, it's a lightsaber. What the fuck?"
right. But then the part where he pulls out the Captain America shield and then
Oh yeah,
and then they cut to Chris Evans.
yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
It's like what? That was funny. That I laughed at that.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah, Free Guy was actually really good. Whenever it makes it to Disney Plus, fucking watch that shit. I rented it. I rented it from Google. Watched it on my TV through the YouTube app. But that was really good. And I think it would be worth it when it becomes available on a streaming service that I have. I would totally watch that again. All right, what else you got? Anything else you think?
I saw Ghostbusters. I saw it on my birthday. That was cool. It was everything that I was hoping it would be.
Did they shit on Winston again?
No, he actually had a better part in this, and they actually focused on him. So
Really, that's good.
yeah,
And because I've been watching Oz, and you know that he's the warden in Oz.
right.
So like, I was just like, come on, man, like that dude was a Ghostbuster.
He appears in one of the post credit scenes, prominently.
Okay.
It's just kind of weird. It's like that second post credit scene made no sense. So I'm guessing they're going to franchise this thing now, this series.
Okay, that's good.
But no, it was everything. It was amazing. I had a blast.
Proton blast.
Yeah, proud of I took my proton pack. No. I've been watching. I don't know. This might be one of those shows that Scar says no one's heard of. But have you guys heard of the show called Succession? It's on HBO.
I've heard of it. Yes.
Yeah, I watched the first 3 or 4 episodes, and yeah, I like it. It's cool.
I've heard good things. That I've heard of. I've never seen.
Kieran Culkin is in it, and he actually does a really good job of like being the annoying younger brother. Pretty good.
I
Yeah,
mean,
who else is in it? Alan Ruck is in it.
At this point, does he have a better career?
You know what? I have not seen him in anything outside of like him being Fuller. I don't remember him in anything else. Apparently, he was in Father of the Bride.
Does he also play in which one of those movies that I didn't really like but everyone seems to love? Scott Pilgrim, yes.
Oh, I never saw that.
You see Scott Pilgrim? I do not love Scott Pilgrim. People flame me for that, but I do not love Scott Pilgrim.
Chase, what's your opinion of Scott Pilgrim?
I've never seen it.
Okay, good. Keep it that way.
Yeah.
No, yeah, like I don't know. It was just like I was like, where did this dude just pop up out of? And apparently, he's been a big deal for years, and I didn't no clue.
It was a fun beat 'em up game on 360 though.
Oh yeah,
but the movie is awful. Like I think the whole point of the movie, him having to deal with these exes of some chick that wasn't even worth going through all of this for.
Wasn't it also a girl that he just met?
Yes. This chick was not worth everything that he had to go through to be with her. And then, spoiler alert, he didn't even end up with her.
Wow.
So, or he shouldn't. But I can't remember if he did or did not. I can't remember. But like the other girl was there the whole time, and he was just like, "Nah, bitch," to the end. Oh, fuck that shit, dog. Fuck that whole fucking movie, dog. Like I don't even remember. I don't even remember how the shit ended. That's how fucked up I was. Like, why do people love this shit so much?
Wasn't it like a manga or something beforehand or something, comic book or
Yes.
something? Okay, maybe that's why they love it.
And they had, and like, if you look at the cast of Scott Pilgrim, holy fuck, everybody plays in that movie.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they got fucking Captain America played in that shit. Superman played in that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's some people that you know that played in this shit, and it's just like, are y'all signed up for this? Here, this is what y'all signed up for.
Mm-hmm.
But Kieran Culkin is like the best friend.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've not seen this dude in anything outside of Home Alone, being like the little kid that pees the bed or whatever.
Yeah, but like at this point, I mean, he's had a pretty decent career.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I looked at everything that he's been in, and I'm like, holy shit, I had no clue.
Yeah, most of this stuff I've never seen, but a lot of this I've heard of. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things. All right, Chase, what you got? What you watch?
I already said the Shang-Chi. I was trying to think of. I mean, there was stuff on when we were there and all that stuff, but like nothing that I've really sat down and just watched. Other than like the Friday 13th, which we already touched on that we watched Jason X, but
Oh, I saw Halloween. I saw Halloween Kills.
I heard that was horrible.
They made him way too strong to the point where I'm like, okay, well, how are you going to defeat him now? And like, as when they first started this version of it, they said, well, they're going to ground him and make him more believable. No, this dude is still super powered, and there's no way he could take on an entire town and just murder everyone. Like, it's just impossible.
Yeah, I don't really want to see these kind of movies, but
And I really don't either. But Halloween has always been one of my favorite franchises for some reason.
I fell asleep on Shang-Chi also.
I wish I had fallen asleep on Shang-Chi.
Okay, here's the only reason why I fell asleep on Shang-Chi, because I really liked the movie. I really did. I enjoyed my time, even with Aquafina blackfishing the whole thing.
Oh my god, she's one of the most. I cannot stand that woman.
I don't know her.
She's very problematic.
I don't really know her like that, but I know she's like her accent. She blackfishes her accent a lot, and that's gotten her.
Well, also her name is making fun of that as well.
Yeah, the way it's spelled, because I mean technically it's out of water, but the way she spell it is like the way that if she was named by a black person, that would be
like that was her whole stand-up thing, was that, and that's kind of part of why I can't stand her. But I actually did enjoy Ben Kingsley in this movie. That was funny.
I loved him, and I loved the fact that they brought him back for this.
They brought him back to kind of like steer the ship right, because they kind of
and then they also, one good thing that they did, especially on Disney Plus, they actually brought in the Marvel one-shots. So like the Marvel one-shot of what happened to him, of how he ended up there in the first place, is on Disney Plus.
Oh,
because for most of us, we saw him at the end of Iron Man 3, and then like for most of us he showed up there. But there's a Marvel one shot of like him being interviewed by someone, and the person interviewing him is a member of the 10 Rings, and tells him that he's going to get him out of there and take him to go meet the person that he's been pretending to be.
Oh wow. That's
so
cool.
like that, so that actually happens. Like he's actually being interviewed, and then the guy, he realizes that there ain't no tape rolling. He just got him in that room so they could break him out of prison and send him to the actual Mandarin. And then you see the guy actually has a 10 Rings tattoo.
Oh wow.
You don't actually like straight up say it, but the guy has a 10 Rings tattoo. And they tell him that he's going to take him to the actual Mandarin. So like when they was like, what are you doing here? And then he says,
he explained it. Yeah,
he explained it, but we did see it. So unless if you saw that Marvel one shot, then you know that what he's saying is the truth.
Now, did you see the post-credit scene?
Yes. Which
Okay.
which
The one where they're painting the wall and there's somebody in place of the Ten Rings. There's somebody new leading the Ten Rings.
Yes.
Okay,
I don't like that, but I understand.
Well, okay. Well, this is gonna get a bit into nerdy territory. Okay, so originally Shang-Chi's father was Fu Manchu. You know Fu Manchu from the movies and the books and stuff.
But you can't do Fu
Okay,
Manchu.
but they can't call him Fu Manchu because they lost that license years ago. But the daughter of Fu Manchu actually takes over his empire in the books and in the movies. She does, so I guess that kind of would make sense for her to do that here, even though it's technically not Fu Manchu.
I think it was cool. I only have one question, and that was the title of the last show. Like, why the fuck could they airbend? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that was my only real question about Shang-Chi. Like, why the fuck are these motherfuckers airbending? Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, there was, other than the rings themselves, there wasn't really a whole bunch of supernatural stuff. But the mama and the aunt was totally fucking airbending.
Well, is that something in Chinese culture, in Chinese mythology? Is that something that's part of that, or
I don't know.
I mean, I'm guessing I don't know, because I know like those little creatures and stuff. They're part of like Chinese myth.
Yeah, the faceless things, and then like, all of the other creatures when they actually went to the place. We're spoiling a lot of this for Chase. I'm sorry.
So the best part was when Godzilla showed up. I mean, that was amazing. He fought Optimus Prime. It was great. You should have seen the chase. You missed it.
but yeah, I was just wondering why they could airbend in a place where, other than the rings, they weren't doing anything like supernatural.
No, I just want to know where they got the bones and the skins of the dragons. Where are y'all getting these from? Are their dragons constantly dying and you're constantly picking their bones? It's not Skyrim.
No, he was just like showing up like, yo, I'm shedding, dog. Y'all trying to get some of this? Like, that's probably what he did. It's like,
I got some extra bones here. Here you go.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's real. It was real out here in these dragon streets. You know, brother, growing. Like, you know, like, I'm trying to get some of this weight off. I'm gonna need y'all. You know what I mean? If you want to protect yourself, I'm gonna need y'all to take some of this. Y'all both be y'all my peoples and all. So I'm gonna look out for you. Each one teach one. You know what I'm saying? Dragon, bitch.
I'm just saying, are the dragons dying left and right? What the fuck is happening?
Yeah, no, I think it was just from the dragon shedding.
Yeah,
like that type of.
You're not gonna be able to name the show Dragon Bitch.
I know, right? I thought about that as soon as I said it. I was like, "Fuck!" I actually named the show Dragon Bitch.
We the dragons.
Hashtag we the dragons. It's like the Hotep lizards. We was dragons.
Good chase.
Reminds me of the Hotep dog meme with like a pit bull with one of those koofies on. It was wolves. Like,
jeez. No, the one that gets me is like the one with the dog, and he's like, he's wearing all the MAGA shit, and he's like, if we descended from wolves, then why are there still wolves?
You know what? What you call it actually said that. Steve Harvey said that.
Steve Harvey said, "Yeah." I'm like, okay, well.
Well, you know, he met with the president, so we don't know if he's MAGA per se, but he actually met with the president, took pictures, photo op.
He's a very confusing man. I don't know.
Very. Also, Kanye West. Because Kanye West has now had 2 episodes of Drink Champs. And Kanye West sounds like a genius to dumb people. Kanye West, here's the thing about Kanye West. When he talks, in his own way, he kind of sounds like a naive politician. he sounds like what a politician sounds like before they actually get the job. Realize, oh, I can't really do all of this. You know what I mean? Like, like how we say about this, every president or whatever like that, they always talk about all of the things that they want to do, and like then when they get to be the president, it's just like, well, they didn't do none of that. It was like, yeah, because they didn't know they couldn't do any of that.
You're right.
You know what I mean? Like, they didn't know they couldn't do it. It's just like, these are the ideas that I have. This is what I think would actually help us as a people. And it was just like, no. And it's just like the Black Panther meme. We don't do that here. You know what I mean? Like, we don't do that here. In the real world, we don't do that here. Yeah, I get it. It's all in your brain, and like you're a genius in your own way, but we don't do that here. Shit, could that be the show title? We don't do that.
We don't do that here.
I think so. I think we got it. We don't do that here. So like, yeah. I'm just gonna keep moving. Are we gonna get to what I've been watching?
Sure, go for it.
I'm still watching Queens. Queens is really, really good for it to star Brandy and Eve.
Oh God.
You know what I mean?
Really?
Like, it's a pretty good fucking show. Like, it's about like this group. They were they were the biggest selling female hip hop group in the 90s. They break up and then they're coming back together, but like now they've been apart for a while, and like they all have personal lives and stuff to deal with and all kinds of stuff. And I think it's really, I think it's pretty well made for a network TV show. What I think it would be better if it was on a cable channel and or
have more adult themes.
Yes. And I will say this, fucking Brandy's rap voice is phenomenal.
Really? Because I've never heard her rap.
I think she tried to come out with a rap album a while ago. What was her name?
But I only remember like 3 of her albums. When she got to that Dark Moon or Bark at the Moon album, I was out. What was that album called? Full Moon.
No, that was just the second album. I'm gonna tell you, Aphrodisiac was fucking phenomenal.
Full Moon was the second album, really?
I think going by this.
Oh, okay.
It
was Aphrodisiac. I think that was the last thing I heard.
Yeah. Never say. Well, no. These are not in order. So you are correct. You are correct. I am not. Because Never Say Never came out in 90.
Okay. Human was the last one that I heard. Then I was like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah. But Aphrodisiac, I think, is fantastic. I think it's up.
It had some good beats. Aphrodisiac had some really good beats.
Yeah. I can't remember. She was supposed to be rapping in her. She had a rap name, kind of like Tyrese tried to do that too, but then Tyrese did like a double album, and one of them was his rap name, and the other one was a R&B album. And I cannot remember what her rap name was. That's gonna bother the shit out of me until I figure this out. But the show is really good. I think it's really good for
Well, it doesn't really say anything.
Yeah.
2009. Brandy has a new rap. Oh, brand new.
Brand new. Yeah, you're correct. And then I know. Like I said, Tyrese tried to do it too. He was like, can't remember what his alter ego album.
Is his Twitter still lit? Because he used to post some really dumb stuff, some really really unintentional dumb stuff.
What he does now. See, here's the thing. what he does now is he shows up on Instagram and says dumb stuff in Instagram, like during the during
Wasn't he
during
on
the,
somebody's live video typing stuff and he typed something really, really stupid?
yes, in the early days of Versus, during the if I'm not mistaken, the Teddy Riley and Babyface Versus, he wrote "throw in the tile."
Oh, no,
Yeah,
tile. That's what it was.
throw in the tile. So yeah, about that.
JC he used to tweet some really dumb stuff. He was worth the follow just to see the dumb stuff he would tweet.
Okay, his rap name for his alter ego album, he was Black Tie.
Okay.
Yeah, that happened. It happened. I'm not saying it should have happened, but it happened.
Jay said he's going to be Bowtie. Is that right, Chase?
Yeah.
So what else have I watched? Of course, like I said, we already talked about Shang-Chi. I have been watching the stuff for the show, Playmakers, and watching The End of Oz. And then I watched something else and I can't necessarily remember what it was. Shit, it's gone. I had something that I did watch and I can't remember. Oh well, it's gone. But the DC TV shows have started back. So I've been watching The Flash. There's only been like 2 episodes, I think, and the new season is actually pretty good. I have not caught any of the other stuff. I know Supergirl is ending or just ended. So Supergirl is done. She's done on these streets. Thank goodness, because I stopped watching that show a couple seasons ago. And I don't think we're long for the Legends and or the Flash. I think someone mentioned that this might be the last season of the Flash because a lot of them don't want to do the show anymore. But I don't know if that's ever been confirmed. But I know it's not going to take very long for this shit to be over because it's like season 7, The Flash. So even though it's good now, like we don't know how long it's going to stay this way because there's been some really shitty arcs in the last couple seasons because all of their seasons of The Flash are split in half. There's like a big bad for like the first half and then there's another big bad for the second half. So for the last few seasons it's been like that and some of these arcs have been terrible. Especially the one last season where they made the other forces and the other forces referred like these are like grown people and they refer to Barry and Iris as mom and dad.
What? Okay.
They're all grown people, but because something that they did birthed those forces, they refer to Barry and Iris as mom and dad, and it is the weirdest fucking thing ever seeing a very big black man calling Barry dad.
Oh, speaking of superhero stuff, I started watching. They brought back the. I used to like watching true crime shows. They brought back the show, To Be Confidential. It is now narrated by Luke Cage.
That guy forever.
Huh?
He fuck that guy forever.
What did he do?
He played one of my least favorite characters in anything I've ever done.
Oh yeah, what's that?
He played Locke in Halo 5.
Oh yeah.
But actually, it turns out it's not his voice.
Wait, so
he just did
the character model for it or something?
He did the character model and then he played in the movie. There was a movie, was it Nightfall? I think it was Nightfall. He played in that. But someone else did his voice for the game. And that the guy who did his voice for the game actually has done some stuff that you might know of. But yeah, he's done a lot of like video games and stuff like that. He was also the guy who did his voice in Halo 5 does the voice of Javik.
Oh, okay.
Mass
Oh, no, yeah, he's the new narrator. The previous narrators were Paul Winfield, and later Keith David did the narration for that show. And now it's this guy. He's not very good at it. I don't really. He just sounds like he's reading lines. He doesn't really sound like he's putting anything into it.
He's not really that strong of an actor. Let's be honest. Like, he has a presence.
I've
Like
only seen him in Luke Cage in Defenders. That's really all I've seen him in.
he's like, he has a physical presence. Oh no, I've seen that dude in a few things. What did he play when he was a piece of shit? I mean, other than the end of the second season of Luke Cage. Let me. I gotta look him up because he was kind of an asshole in something.
Chase, are you okay?
Yeah.
He's totally not in this conversation at all. I'm sorry, Chase.
Right. Chase.
I'm trying to yawn. I haven't got a good yawn off in since I got back from Kentucky.
Well, let me put on Shang-Chi for you.
Because my ear's been kind of messed up since I got off the plane, so hopefully it'll just go away. But if it doesn't stop hurting, I mean it just hurts a little bit, But if I yawn, it'll start hurting. But so I might have it looked at.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about some video games. I am now an owner of an Xbox Series S.
Nice.
I have.
Discless.
I played. That's the one without the disc.
Ah.
I didn't need it.
Right. Yeah, you've never been one for physical games, I know.
I know. I used to be until the Xbox One. Until the
I
one,
think a lot of people were like that. Because for one, the digital stores at that time in this past generation had been a lot better. Like in the 360 generation, you couldn't buy games day.
Oh, it was awful. It was awful. Yeah. No, but go ahead, Oscar. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I like it because like when I play the Division, holy fuck, is it fast?
Yeah.
Like the way the division is loading for me, I realized that all of the problems that I was having with like everyone loading into the game before me and all of this kind of stuff, that shit was just me. And it was because I was still using the old Xbox One. I mean, I'm still using my VCR Xbox One, the original.
VCR Xbox, yeah, that old black one.
Yeah, I still got the old black one. But like, holy fuck, was that upgrade a big change? Like, it's a huge change. So I've been playing a lot of that. I played some 2 Point Hospital. I haven't done anything like really crazy, except for I just loaded up like a sandbox mode. I played, and one night I played the sandbox mode until like 3 o'clock, and then the game fucking crashed at 3 o'clock, and it was like, well, I guess you should probably go to bed. So that part happened, and then I played some Halo with the fellas one night. That was fun. I didn't get in at first because I still had to download everything. But when I actually got in, we played like a private match. And that's all I really played. And that was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Who all was there?
Huh?
Who all was there?
It was me, Blue, Ace. Who else was there?
So it's pretty much pretty much the Forza crew, basically.
Yes, it was pretty much the Forza crew. You are correct.
Cool.
You invite Chase in, and Chase is all like, who all gonna be there?
Chase was in Kentucky when we played.
Yeah.
That's when he went to Kentucky. So yeah, we did that, and that was just super fun. We had a lot of fun, but we haven't been back. Like even like this past Friday, I was just playing. Me and Blue were in the chat pretty much by ourselves, and we just kind of like we were both. Well, I can't remember what he said he was playing. We both could have been playing the Division, but because there's no cross play, we can't play. together. Because I can't play the Division on my PC, and he only plays PC these days.
Wait, there's really no crossplay for Division 2?
No.
Oh, dang.
None. There's absolutely no crossplay. So
I
really wish they would. I really wish they would have, because then I would have, a whole bunch of. I mean, when I started playing on the Series S, I am just basically like, hey, you know what I might want to do? I might want to delete a character and start over. Like, I feel that right now. I'm really like super into it. I'm just doing the manhunt right now. For anyone that's playing knows what I'm talking about. So yeah, I'm just doing the manhunt, just doing things because I don't want to I kind of want to. I want to play more Division, but I know they're going to cut the Division off in a few days.
Oh, really?
Game Pass.
Oh, from Game Pass.
A lot of it's being taken off of Game Pass, and so all of the stuff like Forsaken and all of that kind of stuff it's all being taken off of Game Pass, and they want you to buy.
You mean the Destiny?
Destiny. That's am I tripping? Did I say something wrong?
I thought you said Division.
Oh yeah, no. I meant Destiny. I don't want to play Destiny because they're taking it off of Game Pass. I think they gave away the first Division on Gold, so you might have it if you got Xbox Gold, but they never did the Division 2 though. Weird. But Destiny
Division
is being
2
taken
was
off
on
of
Game Pass for a little bit, I thought.
No, I think it was just really cheap. It was like $6 at one point.
It was on sale. That's how I got it originally, because it was on sale for really, really cheap, and I was able to finagle a gold edition from my job. Because once the higher tiered versions of games kind of get phased out, they put them at the same price as the originals.
Okay.
So when they have sales, I could have gotten that one for the sale price, and it'll be like the gold or super edition or whatever. That's how I got Division 2. I got the Steelbook edition for like $11.
Yeah, it was something crazy. Like the base game was like $6 or some shit like that at one point. So yeah, but the Destiny is being taken off, and I think it kind of sucks because now they want me to. Okay, so now they want me to actually pay for some sort of a complete edition, or whatever kind of edition it is, to have all of this stuff. But some of the stuff that they want me to pay for is being vaulted when the new thing comes out. So you mean to tell me you're taking this off of Game Pass, and you want me to pay you for something that you are going to take away in 2 months? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense that you and so I feel bad for all of those people who've bought Beyond Light and who bought Forsaken and all of this other shit that I got to play because I was on Game Pass. But if you actually paid for these fucking expansions, and those expansions are going clearly the fuck away, come February when they come out with the new Queen something, whatever the fuck it's called, I think that's bad business. I just think it's bad business. I get why they do it, maybe getting rid of stuff to be able to bring other stuff in, clears up space, or it cuts out the amount of bugs that you would have by adding new stuff.
Yeah, it's
still bad business.
Yeah, because I'll get in it with Matt and all, and some other people that would defend it, and it's it's stuff. It's so old. We haven't been playing it in a while. Whatever. Make new stuff, but I'm still man, it's kind of bad. You know what I mean? Because especially with Beyond Light, if you think of just Crucible or just Strikes, let's think about Strikes. They took away I could look it up or whatever. But I'm just gonna. This is probably isn't accurate, but it's accurate enough. Like, say they added 5 new strikes, but they took away 27.
They said if you don't pay them for whatever kind of addition that they're going to have, whenever this gets taken off of Game Pass, anything that you have stasis related is gone. And anything, they said something about your middle tree for the other things that you have. Middle tree and all of stasis is gone. That's fucked. It is stasis, right?
Yeah, stasis is that freeze stuff.
Yeah. I didn't really love it because I don't know how to use it properly, and they don't really teach you how to use it properly. They just give it to you, and then it recharges fast, like a few times while you're trying to get it, and it's just like, okay, all right, I guess. But I didn't really like it very much. I use Sun more than I use anything else. I used to use Void a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty much on the Sun right now. But yeah, I played those things. What have you been playing? I mean not you, Chase, because you say you hadn't played much. Bam.
Let's see. Well, since getting the PC, I started playing Skyrim for PC just to try it out. And yeah, I'm not about that mouse and keyboard life for games like that. Games of that intense.
Back on that narcotic?
No, I just tried it out. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna go back into this.
It has controller support.
I know, but that's kind of cheating. I mean, I might as well be playing it on the Xbox then. No, I tried it out. It's pretty cool. It actually does a good job of guiding you to like, okay, this is what this button does. This is what this button does. Cool, but like games that need that much attention, I'm not this type of dude. You know.
I feel you know.
So what else? What else did I start playing? I've been playing Phasmophobia with my peoples. That game is really intense. It's funny. It's like, I don't understand how people. Well, I do understand how people can be scared of it, but it's not as scary as, say, like another game that has a similar theme, Lunch Lady. That's scary. That scares the crap out of me when I watch someone play that. But yeah, Phasmophobia is really fun. There was like a really funny moment where like everybody left the house. Everybody left the house, and I was like trailing behind because I was a brand new player. I don't really know how to control yet, and the ghost locked the door on me, and I was the last one in the house. And it started hunting, so I had to hide. I had to get behind like a couch and crouch down and hide. And they're all guiding me like, okay, come over here. All right, walk this way. Okay, hide. Okay, and waiting for the ghost to. And then my girl is just laughing her ass off at this entire thing. And they're like, come on, get out. It was just funny. Like I clipped it and I made a video out of it. I'll post that soon. But that was hilarious. That she was just dying because I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing, and everybody's like, sit down, lay down, crouch.
Yeah, I had
that.
I had that as well. I bought it last Halloween actually.
Yeah, I bought it when it came out, but just because I was running a piece of crap, I couldn't exactly play it.
Right.
So now that I have something that I can actually play games, like yeah, I was finally able to play it. Played a little Fall Guys. That was kind of weird, but okay.
That's still a thing? Fall Guys is still in the league?
It's people were playing it. I got full games every time. Let's see, what else did I play? So I tried to test the limits of this PC by playing a little Gears 5. That worked. I was like, wow, I could actually run Gears 5. That's amazing. And then I deleted it because fuck Gears 5.
I didn't play it enough to say fuck it. I started it after I finished 4. No, 4 was fuck that shit. 4
was when I was like, yeah, I'm not. 4 was the reason why it took me so long to play Gears 5.
Yes, it took me over a year to like I stopped playing for about a year.
Yeah.
Before I picked up 4 and I finally finished it. I only picked up 4 because, the occasional yearly part of me and Chase playing Gears came about. And I was like, you know what? I should finish 4. So I finished 4. And you know what? 4 is terrible until the last part of 4 when you're in a fucking big ass mech.
Oh, that was so much fun.
That shit was dope. I'm like, why did y'all put this shit in here early?
Yeah.
It's like, why did you say this earlier, dog? We could have been in here. We could have been about this life. It was like motherfucking robot jocks.
Let me see what else.
How many old people get that reference? You're a dead man, Achilles. No one knows that reference. That's fucking hilarious.
Still playing Animal Crossing. Ever since that update, I'm about that life again. That update actually saved the game.
I just looked up Robot Jocks. That shit came out in '89.
Wow. Let's see. Oh, and I got back into The Sims. Started playing The Sims 4 again. I'm just having a blast. Like my dude is just over there, just pounding some.
I created in Pooh Bear's profile. I created a couple of families, like families in the neighborhood, because for some reason Pooh Bear was not creating black people. I was like, yo, I am going to make some black people for your neighborhood. So it's like, as I understand it, those families were in her gallery. I don't know how you access that shit, but like, so I created some black families just so I could put somebody in her gallery.
I had people in my gallery, like I think my girl has a character that I put in my gallery, but I don't know how to access them. I don't know how to put them in the actual game.
Yeah, I don't know either. I created at the time I created just a random family, but then I also created another family that was basically me, my ex-girlfriend, and Pooh Bear. It was like as if they were an actual family, like that type of thing. I've done stuff like that. I would probably get in just to do that, just to create people, and like use these people if you want to.
It's a great game. It's very intuitive. It's almost like real life with some of these women that I'm meeting in the game. Like one of them is like, you get so far with the girl, and then she just cuts you off. I'm like, oh, great, just like real life.
But you know what? The thing about The Sims, especially Sims 4, is like when you set up a character, when you create a character, these characters are complicated. Like they have like personality quirks and shit like that. Like it gets really deep.
Yeah, I was like having a conversation with this one nice shapely thing, and I was doing the whole get to know you thing. I found out she was
a show title. I just want you to know that nice shapely thing is
nice shapely thing. Okay. And I found out like, yeah, you learn things and then you base your conversation around that thing that you learn about them. Like I found out she was a snob. I was like, okay, so I started like, doing and saying things to show off. I'm like, this is a little too real. I mean, it's gonna come
I could be a snob too.
Yeah, it's gonna come to a point where I'm gonna have to step off. But I'm not there yet because he's still doing his thing. He's still knocking them down.
That's awesome. I have it. Of course, I have it on Game Pass for the console. I tried to put Pooh Bear on the console after playing on PC, and she was just like, "What the fuck is this?" She gave me that look. She didn't actually say it, but at the time, she was here for like a weekend or something like that, and she didn't bring her PC with her. And I was like, "Well, you can play The Sims. You can just download The Sims and you can play it on the console." And like, she started playing it with a controller and looked at me like, what the fuck is this? Like, what are you doing? Like
that was so weird. Remember how like at one point, now they're the same game now, pretty much. But at one point, Sims and like the console Sims was a completely different game. Like I think I think I bought it for my brother for like PS2 or PS3.
Busting out was the shit, son.
And he played it, and it was like it's more about doing tasks and like, okay, you can't do this until you do this task. I'm like, wait, that's not in the PC version at all.
Busting out was the shit.
Bro. Oh, busting out! Oh yeah, busting out was fun.
Fucking radio stations and busting out was the fucking dopest, man. I'm still about that life, yo.
And you said about that. There was a version of The Sims they had on like the iPod. When it still had the click wheel. It was called The Sims Pool, and it was so cool because you had your Sim dude, and he would be playing. He would go out to the pool hall, and do his pool thing, and then you would accumulate simoleons or whatever, and then you could buy things to customize your little dude with, and that was such a cool game, but it's gone now.
Oh, let me tell you
It
something.
no longer exists.
Let me tell you something. So, I regularly have conversations with my ex-wife. Because and then there's a chat that me, my ex-wife, and Pooh Bear are all in, and we all just kind of talk and you do like parenting things, and then we also
Right.
just kind of fuck with each other. Like I talk shit to Pooh Bear, and but it's our basically our co-parenting group.
Right.
One day, she said that she was in like a big meeting at work, but it was virtual. And nigga, that shit looked like PlayStation Home. It was and when they went on break, they were like all of it there because they had to like create a character.
Uh,
It's a whole fucking character, and like while you're sitting there watching the presentation, they're like sitting in an auditorium with their characters and
I
shit
think
like
that's
that.
Windows Meet. I think Windows Meet has that.
And then when they did when they were on break, like the characters were like gone fishing or some shit like that, and then like you see the characters just kind of out in the water, just kind of going fishing and shit.
That's funny.
I was like, yo, that shit look like PlayStation Home, and that shit made me think about how fucking dope of a concept PlayStation Home was, but they never actually saw that bitch through.
I could never find anybody that I knew because I was
I
like, okay,
could
I'll meet you over here, and I'm like, okay, well, where are you?
I just like going, me personally. Well, first of all, when they did the virtual E3 booth, I was like, yo, this is hot. That shit was dope. Like they actually recreated their whole
Oh,
E3
really?
booth. In one year they did it, and they recreated the whole E3 booth in PlayStation Home. So like you could go and like you can like go to the different stations and watch the trailers and all of that kind of stuff. I thought that was really fucking dope. But like the thing to do in PlayStation Home, because you were talking about playing pool, the thing to do was to go to the bowling alley so you can
You
play
can go
pool
bowling,
against
yeah,
people. No,
yeah.
no, no. You go to the bowling alley to play pool. Like you
Oh,
don't
really? I
actually
never
go.
got that far.
No, no. You go. The
I actually
bowling is.
spent money in PlayStation a lot. I bought the Ghostbusters Firehouse.
I don't think I actually really put down any money. I was going to, but right when I started really using PlayStation Home a lot, and I was really gonna buy some cool shit for my house. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's when they were announcing that it was gonna go away at some point, and I was just like, well, I'm
Oh,
glad I
I
got rid of
stopped.
it.
I stopped when they started plastering videos of Hip Hop Gamer everywhere. I'm like, yeah, I'm out of here.
Bruh. And when they actually had the downloadable hip hop gamer belt,
Really?
yeah, they had it in PlayStation Home.
No.
They
Every time
told
you would walk, there'd be like a video screen of like, and then Hip Hop Gamer would be on there. I'm like, hey, I don't want to look at this
yeah,
dude.
he was plastered all over that thing. I actually met the dude in real life. He seemed like an alright guy, but
No, I have no personal issue with him. I
I'm not
just like don't want to see him plastered everywhere.
right. And then that one E3 where we were all in the chat together and they were trying to make it seem like I was an Xbox fanboy. I was basically doing my impression of him.
Oh,
Um,
that time that they recorded you, that you were like,
yes.
dog, look at this. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I was basically doing my hip hop gamer impression. But he, like I said, he seemed like a pretty decent dude, in real life. But I just can't. I just don't. I just, he just not my kind of nigga. You know what I mean?
I mean, I respect the hustle, but that's not some
Yeah.
type of dude I want to just
So
get my news and information from.
his hustle is strong. Like his hustle is real strong. So I applaud him for his hustle. That much I can say. His hustle is strong, and I fuck with his hustle. His grind is crazy right now. It still
Is,
is.
is he still doing his thing?
Yeah, he's doing. If I'm not mistaken, he's with Def Jam.
Oh, okay.
Def Jam has some sort of gaming thing attached
Is
to
he
it.
trying to is he trying to talk to them into making another fighting game?
I hope he does. They should.
Yeah,
They
that was classic.
should. But no. Do another fight for New York. Do not do another Icon.
Oh, Icons was garbage.
Icon was the garbage. And I actually bought Icon off of somebody. It was like, because I hadn't played it yet. And he was like, man, I'm taking this shit back to GameStop. I was like, well, how much is the trade in? And then it was like, okay, I'll just give you what the trade in is. I'll just give it to you cash. So you ain't got to, if you want to cash this shit out, they're not going to cut no money out you. So I'll just give you what the trade in cost is straight up. And then, so I did that, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm about to play some Icon." I sat down to play some Icon. I was like, "What the fuck is this shit?" And like scratching to like make the map do things. That shit was just fucking weird, man.
I remember there was a game that reminded me of that. It was like an NBA. It had Stephon Marbury on the cover, and that should have told me right there not to mess with this game.
The Ballers?
But huh? It was like you were playing basketball in a club.
Was it Ballers? I think it was Ballers.
Was it Ballers?
Yeah,
Ballers.
NBA Ballers.
I was
Definitely has.
I played for a while and it was fun, but I was like, okay, this is kind of.
The problem with Ballers is real simple. It's a one-on-one game.
Yeah. That's what it was. It was bothering me.
Yep. If it was a 2-on-2 game, maybe people would have felt like it was too close to NBA Jam, but it still would have made a better situation. Or like a 3-on-3 game.
3-on-3 would have been acceptable.
3-on-3, but that would have made it like NBA Street. I mean, NBA Street. Which Home Court was actually pretty good. I liked Home Court.
Chase, what was your favorite NBA game?
NBA? NBA Jam?
Oh, yeah? Did you use the hit mode?
That's the only one I really played.
I tried to get him to play live. I keep trying to get him to play live.
Well, there was one on the PS2.
Hey, there's no big head mode. Chase ain't playing it.
Well, there was one on the PS2 that wasn't NBA Jam, and I'm not sure what that was, but me and my brother played a lot of it.
Were you on fire?
No.
Were you heating up? No.
But I know we can make characters and make them just the best character ever. And
did you buy a bucket?
Did I buy a bucket?
Did you buy a bucket? It's a saying from NBA Jam. He's like, can't buy a bucket.
He's fucking with you about NBA Jam. You do realize that, right? Like, obviously you didn't play Jam enough,
right?
Because you don't understand these references.
I mean, you know how long it's been. I don't
Sorry,
even.
sir. NBA Jam is forever.
I don't even remember what that other game was.
There was another game, and then 2K bought it and added like the VC and all that kind of shit, and kind of fucked the game up. Where you had to like buy characters and stuff like that. But it was very much like it was very much like NBA Jam, but it was. But it was like NBA Jam, and it had the Playgrounds. That's what it is. Playgrounds was actually a cool game until 2K got in it, and
didn't they add that to the 2K game? Isn't that part of the game?
No, it's not part of the game. But they made it a 2K game when they got in it.
Because I know there's a mode in 2K because I've watched enough streams about it where like they play on like a court, on like a park court. Or something.
Well, the park, they added that a few years ago, and basically what you do is you take your character out to an actual park, and there's like a bunch of different games running, and then you can put your character in a slot, like saying they got next and all of this kind of shit. Like it's like the park games get really real out there. Like that shit gets like super real, and that's I used to play the park when it was less stakes, I guess you would say. It was because people take that shit really seriously.
Oh yeah, I noticed that. I've watched enough stream because like I'm always curious about this game because like people who play it professionally on streaming, and I'm like, man, these people are like way into this, like way more than they need to be.
Yeah, the crazy part about 2K, and like I said this a while ago, but I watched a 2K YouTuber. I used to watch his videos a lot because I like the idea of 2K. I just don't like the fact that they start me so low, and that like they make you want to spend money
There
in
you go.
order
That's
to
what it is.
they make you want to spend money to make your character even decent, because if
Yeah.
you don't spend any money, it takes a while for you to really
Yeah, I admit I spent like $10, like just giving my guy ability to even like shoot long buckets.
right. But this guy said, you know, when a new 2K comes out, right? They buy the game. Then for each character that they use in the videos that they produce, that's an additional $40 to $50 in VC just to
Wow.
make that character usable enough to make videos of.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when I worked at GameStop, there were people coming in all the time, just buying up all the VC. I'm like, you guys are idiots.
Yeah,
And
well, before we go any further, I, it could have been anything, man, because I know for a fact we did play NBA Street, because I was just looking at a list of games on the PS2. I mean, I know for a fact we played that, but as of like regular, I didn't even realize that Live and 2K was that old. So it could have been them, or it could have been that ESPN NBA game.
ESPN NBA eventually became 2K.
Well, that might be what it was.
The ESPN games eventually became 2K. It's so yeah, that definitely. And then even like Live has been around for a long time. Live was there was NBA Live goes back to the Super Nintendo, I think.
Oh yeah, it does. I remember now.
NBA Live goes back to the Super Nintendo, so like they've been. I think you should try Live 19. I think you would actually have some fun with that game, because that game doesn't require you to put any more money into it. They start your character. Your character when you start is actually usable. Your character gets better, of course, but when you first start, like, your character is not a 60 something, just complete trash. You actually, and then like all of the stuff that you buy, like your clothes and accessories and all of that kind of stuff, you buy it with money that you earn in game. You unless you're playing Ultimate Team, you cannot spend any of your regular money.
Cool.
You don't have that option. So I think you should try. I think you should try Live, Chase.
Is that on EA Play?
Mm-hmm. I bought it before it was on EA Play.
I bought it for like $1.
Yeah, I think I bought it. I bought it on, and I bought it on PlayStation also. When I bought it on PlayStation, the shit was like on sale for like $3.
Yeah, it was like really cheap at one point. I remember.
Yeah, and then I did buy it, even though I did have EA Play. When I bought it, it was during the time where they only had the trial on EA Play. So when it was like super cheap, I just bought it. But yeah, I think you should try Live, and you should totally play some Live at some point together. Even if we both trash, fuck it, let's just be trash together.
Let's be trash together. That's a good title.
Yeah, I think more communities need to do cool shit, like fucking all of us have an NBA Live character, and then we like organize fucking tournaments against each other, and like the UFC games that are also in EA Play. Like, we all just create our own characters in UFC, and like we all pick what weight class we're gonna make our characters, and then we use our characters against each other. I think that would be fucking fun. But like, I never really been a part of a group that actually really wanted to do that. And then there's also that mode of Madden, was the yard.
Well, Sam, since you have a PC now, you should get Valheim and I'll play with you.
Oh, yeah, what's that?
No one wants to play fucking Valheim.
Valheim.
Sam does.
Oh, that reminds me of playing games with you.
You could stream it. That'd be hilarious.
Okay, so here's the thing. When I was waiting for everything to download on the Series S, I did realize there are games that you can just stream and you don't have to download them.
Mm-hmm.
ESO is one of those games that you don't actually have to download it. You can just stream it.
Oh, really?
It's a cloud game. I didn't actually play it. I did try. I turned it on, but I didn't actually really do anything. I did Outriders because Outriders is one of those games you can stream. So I played Outriders. I just loaded the game up, got into the game.
I have heard that's getting into a place that's getting decent.
Yes, they just did an update. And they're still working on things, but some people are still having connection issues. One of the guys that I follow on YouTube, Born to Game, he talks about it a lot. That's one of the main games he plays. He plays a lot of Division. He plays that and a few other games, but those two, Division and Outriders, are the games that he pretty much plays the most. But yeah, I would play Outriders if I had someone to play the game with. I did not enjoy playing that game by myself.
Yeah, it's
by the time
it's kind of like that whole thing to where, like in those missions in Destiny, where you're like, man, this is like kicking the dick, and you're like, oh, it's designed for multiple people. You know,
it's like being stuck in a strike and everybody leaves.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck this.
So are we guys gonna get back on the back for blood?
I
heard they toned it down some, but they still need to work on it a lot.
They're supposed to be doing an update. The update's supposed to come out soon. They are currently working on single player progression. And here's the thing. They are nerfing some of the cards.
Really?
But then they're adding more health to some of the bigs.
Okay.
Shit don't make no sense. How you gonna nerf the card? If the problem was that these motherfuckers was too hard to kill in the first place, why nerf my cards and then make this motherfucker stronger?
Well, I read somewhere that Left 4 Dead 2 has more players than Back 4 Blood at this point.
Really? I actually wanted to get into some Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah, I'll be down.
I have it, but I don't believe I've actually played it on PC.
And that has controller support, but it's also a game that, you know, you're not doing much, so there's not really much to do with the mouse and keyboard that makes it complicated. So, for
I do, and I do know that it has controller support because I whined like a little fucking baby when my ex-wife left me and she took my controller with her and started playing the game with Rob. At the time, I threw a fucking fit. That was not a good day for me. They did a live stream. It was just like,
oh man,
I threw a fucking fit. It's like, give me my fucking controller back. Yeah, that was not good. That was not a win for your boy. I mean, of course, it was a few years ago. It's been you know, eight or so years ago.
That was 8 years ago?
2013.
Wow.
All happened in 2013. April 29th, 2013 is when everything actually happened. That's when it all started.
Yeah, time's going by, man. It's been longer now between now and Skyrim than it was between Skyrim and Morrowind.
It's like, do you know, like, fucking Chase has been around for how many years? How many years have you been around, Chase?
Since 2017. What is the math on that? Yeah.
I remember I asked Carl, I was like, "Who the fuck is this?" He was like, "Oh, you know, I pick up strays." That's what you told me.
Yeah, I do. I pick up strays. I just happen to like this one. I just happen to wanted to keep this one. But yeah, I picked up this stray 4 years ago.
Yeah, well, I was at pretty much all the game nights there. It's just
Well, you were Chase. What were you listening to? Were you listening to like Gamers in Beta? Is that where you came in?
well, my
It was what you call it, right?
well the Dad's Hideout podcast, and
Is that what it
then
was?
yeah, they had got Holy Headshot on their podcast, and then that got me into check out Everyday Gamers, and then Scar was on Everyday Gamers, and then
Okay.
Right. I was like, I actually did a clean show.
Yeah.
Holy Headshot is pretty cool. I met him.
I think I've met Meef is the only one out of the crew that I've actually met. When I went to Alabama, I met Meef.
Oh, is that when you went to Cracker Barrel?
No, I went to Cracker Barrel with Double A.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to Cracker Barrel with Double A, but we all were at some other restaurant. I don't even remember the name of the restaurant, but it was a restaurant in Birmingham, I believe. Where all three of us were there. And Andrew. So all of us were there. And it's just kind of it was a real cool day. And I haven't had one of those days in a long time. It used to be like every once in a while you get to meet somebody. It's just like, like even now, like one of my Twitter friends, and had been a Twitter friend a long time ago. He's associated with NASCAR. And like there's a couple of times where he's posted being in Richmond at the raceway, and I'm like, dog, why didn't you say something? I live right here. At the time when I was living at the other place, I still don't live very far away from the racetrack, but I'm just like, yo, I can see the racetrack out of my bedroom window. It's right there. It's literally right there. Why didn't you holler at your boy?
The guy I was doing WrestleCast with, Don, he's super into NASCAR. Like that's his passion.
Talking about the same person.
Oh yeah, it was Don. That's yeah. He's really that's his thing. He's a NASCAR nut.
Yeah, he was like associated with a team or something, right? Or somebody that he was.
I think he was working at one of the stadiums, like in some capacity.
Yeah, but like when whoever he was working with came to Richmond.
Well, he was working for like some. He had a press pass for some of the races and stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, I was just like, dog, I live right here. He lives in Florida normally, right?
It's Florida. No, he lives in North Carolina, and I'm not really sure where. Well, I mean, unless he moved at some point, I don't know.
Okay. I may be mixing him up with somebody else because it's been a long time.
Right.
Long time. All right. Anybody got anything else?
Not so far, man. Seems like we've because I thought it was going to be kind of a short show because I was like, other than trips, I haven't really done much, and this has been over 2 hours.
Oh wow!
It's not been 2 hours for them.
It was a magic of editing.
It was It's been 2 hours for us.
Well, maybe not. I always forget about the
part at the beginning where we're not actually like talking to anyone on, we're just talking amongst ourselves for a bit. So that part. So yeah, man. I don't think I have anything else. I think I'm doing a sale on the website. PTCAChandcrafted.com. There's a code. I think it's called Holiday 25. No spaces. Holiday 25. You can get 25% off anything in the store between now and the end of the year. So
look at that, Chase. He's giving himself more work to do.
But I gotta get back to these cookies, man. I'm tired. I'm tired of making cookies right now. I really am. But I haven't even really gotten started because I'm just making them just to practice.
So
So what's your
what do you
cooking
do with them?
facility?
Right now, I'm making them to practice, and I take some to work. I give some to I gave some to my neighbor earlier, shit like that. I'm just making them to practice, just so if someone asks me that, I want you to make some cookies with some coconut. I gotta know how to make coconut. You know what I mean? Somebody asks for some what you call it, some like oatmeal or something like that. I gotta know how to make it.
So even get
So
on that mustard pancake. I'm saying.
yeah, it's gotta get some of that mustard. That's sexual, ain't it? But yeah, so I'm practicing all of these different things, different things to do. Somebody asked me about making some toffee. You know what I mean? I was like, I can get some crushed up Heath bars and just throw them bitches in there. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's shit like that. I got to know how to do it. So I'm just practicing all of the stuff for when someone actually wants me to make it. And like Rashani has been wanting me to make cookies for a long time, so I'm gonna have to make him some and send it to Sacramento just to see if it's gonna last that long. Are we gonna be able to survive the trip? Because it's going to fucking Sacramento. You know what I mean? So, but it's all kinds of things happening. I did actually get a candle order yesterday, and it's a guy who has another podcast, and he wants to have a conversation about me advertising on his podcast. But it's a podcast about marching bands, so like nobody here is interested in that.
Well, march your way over to Scar's website and get you some cookies.
No, cookies are a person to person thing. It is not going to be on the website. It's a person to person thing because the feds is not coming to look for me because I'm not about to be like that lady. She was selling food on Facebook through Facebook groups, and the feds came looking for her.
I was wondering about stuff like that because like my mom goes through those Facebook marketplace things, and there's people advertising food and stuff. I'm like, Mom, that shit's illegal. I'm pretty sure they're gonna get shut down.
Yes.
So it's illegal to smell food?
No, it's illegal to sell food through like Facebook and stuff like that without a license.
Oh, okay.
Or advertising yourself as a restaurant when it's really just you in a kitchen.
Yes. So it's really, even when I was doing the MC3 thing on Facebook, it was like, okay, send me a message here to let me know what you want. I'm not answering none of this shit. I'm not answering anything about orders on Facebook. Like I had a Facebook page. It's still there. But I had a Facebook page and I was just like, okay, so send me the stuff here. We deal with the money through PayPal away from Facebook. Like and everything is done
Right.
person to person. You tell me what you want, I'll tell you how much it costs, and then we work everything else out from there. So that's kind of how that has worked in the past, and that's how that's going to work in the future, until I can figure out how to actually get licensed on some shit and actually really get my business license to sell the other stuff too.
Cool.
I really need to put some paintings on the website, but that's going to be a thing. That's going to take some time. I did my inventory. I did my inventory of wax melts so I can adjust my inventory on the website. Let me tell you how many wax melts I have. I have 246.
Easily. Wow.
That's not even counting the few that I took out for myself. There's 246 to sell. And that's just wax melts. That's not even candles. So I don't have that many candles, but I have a lot of candles. But anyway, do the thing. Holiday 25, PTCAC, handcrafted.com. And yeah, man, go check out Crucial Core. I was on the Jason X podcast, but also stick around for more Jason action for now. But then it's going to change to something else for a bit, because the season's about to end. So check out all of the Jason action over there at Crucial Core. And Sam, you got anything going on?
I got nothing. Well, I got my Twitch. I'm close to a payout. Like I got like one more day to. I'm like $16 away from a payout, so holler at your boy, twitch.tv/donut thief. The O is a 0. So hit me up there. And pretty much that's all I got going on right there. Also follow Hallow Queen on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/Hallow Queen with 2 N's, not just one. And a W instead of the U after Queen.
Okay.
So you switched your guild, huh? You went from the Mages Guild to the Thieves Guild.
To the Thieves Guild. Oh, yeah, exactly. Don't tell nobody. Hail Sithis. That's the Assassin's Guild. Never mind.
Yeah. Lawrence, that's dope. Make sure that you send that information to Chase and make sure that is so we can put it in the show notes.
Cool.
I'm not going to actually do it, but Chase is going to.
Yeah, Chase will.
Chase will. So yeah, thank you everybody for checking us out. We appreciate y'all. We'll be back in your ear holes in another 2 weeks for here. Crucial Core is weekly, right?
Yeah, because this next episode will be the remake, and then because we're skipping Jason versus Freddy or Freddy versus Jason, and because I wanted to do the Nightmare on Elm Street before then, but it's going to be a little bit before we get to there. So we're just going to go right into the remake, which you don't really need to see Freddy vs. Jason before that anyway. And then the next 4 episodes between now and the beginning of the year will be the old Rock of Sea episodes that I did with Max, who's going to be with me on the 2nd season of Crucial Core.
Yeah, whenever you're ready to do Halloween, just let me know, and I'm there.
All right, man.
Right, and then whatever I decide to do, because I really want to do a podcast, but I don't even know what I want to call it, because sometimes I just want to call it Random Musings of a Podcast Idiot. But like I don't, because that's truly how I feel about myself. But I don't necessarily know how I want to do it. Like whether I want to do it audio boom style, where I just kind of pull up an app on my phone and just start talking.
I remember those old audio booths.
Yeah, I still know where to find mine, and it's fucking hilarious. And that's the answer to the question a long time ago. I asked a question, and I said that you could. Well, I said that you can find an episode. I mean, something on the internet of me singing Interstate. What's it called? Interstate Love Song. Stone Temple Pilots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can actually find that if you know how to find my old audio booms. There is totally one of me singing Interstate Love Song.
And I gotta send you that one episode of the Black Hand Side that we did that was just epic.
You want me to put it up? I'll put it up.
Yeah, if I can find it. I mean, I know where I can find it. It's just like me remembering what episode it was. It was like do the Kimbo.
Yes. I am not. I will not listen to that song. I mean that episode while driving ever again.
That was Chasey should have been there.
I listened to that episode again when he passed. And
I remember you were like, you see these shoulders.
And I was driving, and I was laughing so hard I almost ran a red light.
Chase, you need to listen to this. I'll send it to you.
All right.
But you have to do some research, and you have to figure out who Kimbo Slice is.
I know who Kimbo Slice is.
Or Big Country. I think Big Country is involved too, I think.
Yes. Some fat fuck. All right. We're out of here. Peace out to the Warriors, yo.
All right, man. Later.